Greetings, everyone. Just busy working on VSS2 and doing some 3D printing. And and I'm also have to maintain some filament today, and I'll tell you why. It's been raining over here in Florida, and some of the filament that I use is sensitive to water, to moisture in the air. And so on some of the on some of the printers, I have these special boxes that keep the moisture out, and on some of the other ones, especially the small ones, I don't. So what I did is I bought a bunch of these like Rubbermaid type containers, and I was thinking of either drilling a hole right through in order to put a spool on the inside and have the spool suspended so it could just turn, with a little axle inside. But I think I'm going to make something that I can just simply just drop in. Probably we'll do some laser cutting with some wood, just make a little frame and have like a 3D printed part, an axle. And so all I would have to do is just put the spool in and let the thing just stay there, Anyways, so I'll have to also drill a hole somewhere to let the filament out. But something like this will keep the filament dry from moisture, and I can use some silica gel and just keep it at the bottom. And the silica gel will help keep the filament pretty much dry. And these are pretty small and slim, so they should be able to fit right next to all my other printers, and not take up a lot of space. So, anyways, that's the battle plan. So what I'm going to do right now is just work on some the roof section of my VSS. This is just part of it, and once it gets to a stopping point on there, then I'll switch gears and I'll work on the box. And I'm not quite sure what I'll do for that box, but it should be something simple. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it. So, but we'll see how it comes out. So, anyways, I'll switch windows to the VSS02. What you'll see here is going to be the joisting part. It's only half of what I have to do for the upper deck. So what you see on the screen will be twice as long. So, I mean, it will be for twice as long. So what you see right now is only half of it. So, it's getting hot here too. So anyway, this is half of the ceiling part that will be inside my upper deck. And what you see here, this is all going to be a wood structure. So I'm basically making the upper hull as tiles. So this is just half the structure here. So I'll have to duplicate, well, it'll be easy to duplicate, but so you can imagine this being twice as long, continuing over to about here, this length. And I'm kind of winging it. I'm not quite sure how this is going to shape out. But because, so anyway, I have some ideas. So what I'm doing, basically, I'm making these square sections. They're kind of like just like a big peg. and they will go through the wood to anchor it to the joisting structure that's underneath. And this is the structure underneath. So all these points here is where it'll come in contact with a bulkhead. And I'm not sure about the center pieces, since I want to keep the middle parts as clear as possible. If you're curious about how strong these things are, I have one segment printed. And let me switch. So let's see. It's this section here. It's very tight. There's no glue right now. And I can easily imagine when I have more than one put together, it will be quite rigid. Plus, I have connection points where I can add additional structures. Either I can reinforce a wide section, or I could just attach a simple section there and just basically reinforce this from sagging or bending if it does. So I gotta print a whole bunch of these things, and that's what this printer is currently doing. I have it really slow, but it needs to increase speed. I'm slowly incrementing speed on that printer, mostly because it's printing directly on the build plate, and if it does it fast enough, it'll make the underside of the build plate kind of ugly. I'll give you an example. You can see, even though it's blurry, you can see some, oh, come on, focus. Wow. I don't know why it doesn't want to focus. Maybe I don't have a setting set for autofocus or something. Anyway, just trust me. You can see, maybe on my shirt, you can see that the print is not very clean on some of these openings, and that's because on the very first layer it starts to push the filament through, but the pieces are kind of small, and I'm not doing any type of priming line or anything like that, so it's taken a little bit of time to get the plastic through the nozzle onto the build plate. So meanwhile, the extruder is busy moving and nothing coming out until later. And then I have like a missing section. But I'm not too worried about this, because this is going to get covered up by a wood structure. It's only the bottom parts here that's going to be visible. And you can see this came out pretty nice. Of course, this one here, this is a bottom layer. I just need to knife off. You can see, with the other prints, things will come out good. So the other thing is, here's another example. So on this one, you can see I got this piece here. It's actually with a magnet. The idea, let me pull this out. Okay, so I don't know if this magnet's going to come off. Okay. So here's the magnet right here. It's a little rare earth magnet. The idea is that when I disassemble the VSS and I move it around, let's say to Joe Fest or some other place, and I build it back up and I reassemble it, I'm going to have certain pieces, because it's so large, I won't be able to see as I am trying to put, let's say, the upper deck in place. I'm going to be blind in certain locations. So the idea is the magnets will help locate where parts should fit. So the magnets are going to function as a guide. Plus, with a bunch of them, uh, the magnets should help secure the pieces together. So basically lock it into place. There's a few other pieces too that are going to be helping to guide the position uh, of the top hull. So anyway, so let me get back to it. I guess this one here. And let me continue. So I got the comments in view. So if you have any comments, just let me know. So anyways, here's that part with the magnet. So what I'm doing here is just I'm trying not to rely solely on things like glue to secure pieces together. So this is the top hull part. It's going to be done in wood, and it will. I'm going to try to use. I just noticed something. Oh, okay, never mind. I'm going to try to use. Yeah, I wonder what's going on here. I'll figure that out later. Should be. Oh, I know why. Okay. So okay. So anyways, yeah. So I'm trying not to use glue everywhere. I'm trying not to rely on it too much. So what I am going to try to rely more on are things like pegs, a peg system to help keep pieces from shifting around. And so, as you've seen me in other videos, I'm just mating these pieces together. And it takes a little bit of time. Fortunately, I don't have a whole lot to do before this section is finished. And just gotta do this. Right now it's fairly easy. I did some changes on some other parts earlier this morning and yesterday, and that took a bit of time. And it was a bit frustrating at certain things too. Frustrating where I make a change and the changes causes me to have to update a whole list of other things. And then when I update all these other things, I find that other things have been broken. So I have to go back in and reconnect those. And it was just getting frustrating. But finally got things done. On the printers to my left, I'm working on some orders. They'll be going out tomorrow. Let's see, I'm trying to keep an eye on the comment section just in case I get a comment. So yeah, it's been raining outside, and it's been raining kind of hard. So I have almost everything done on this. I now have to secure the bottom parts. It gets a little bit tricky. Let me move this further up. The reason why it gets a little tricky is that there's a whole lot of details with the joisting, and so there's a lot of different surfaces, and that can tax the computer as I move things around. Okay, got everything almost done. Let me go back and mate. Okay. There's also a potential problem area here. I'm not too sure, and I'll tell you about that in just a moment. This is not what I want to do like this. This to here. Okay. This, this side to inside here. And this is the problem area. It's just so close to the edge of the wood here. I might make an alteration between this piece of wood and, well, I shouldn't have done that. An alteration between this piece of wood and this piece of wood. For example, maybe I need to remove this section, this tab-like section here, maybe reduce it or something. Anyway, it's so close to the edge. It's only 0.33 millimeters spacing, which is basically nothing. So it's, you know, it has the potential of breaking. So I'm going to try to remedy that. This is only one layer of wood. All this gray, or actually this color tans, it's only a thin piece of wood. So I'm thinking of putting other pieces to kind of stagger them and reinforce the seams. But you know, all that adds weight, and you know, you put multiple pieces of wood, it's going to get heavier. So I have to make certain pieces stronger to, you know, and that increases the chance of sagging, things like that. You know, so you know, there's always this tug of war or seesaw type of effect to balance everything. Okay, I think I'm done with this part. Let me change the view. All of these pieces have like these peg holes or port holes. I need to do them for these pieces of beams, of joisting. And just that, I haven't done it. There's a lot of stuff I got to print. What you see here, these smaller pieces here, actually these pieces here, is the stuff I have already printed. So I got to do a bunch of these. So anyway, let me go back and get into a nice view so I can save it. Save. And just wait for the thing to save. Okay. And I can close this. Come on, close. Okay, that was it, huh? Let me also bring up something I was curious. How come it didn't keep the color? I changed a lot of that wood showing up in gray. I changed a lot of that to a tan color. Yeah, like here. But for some reason it just appears gray in that other file, so I don't know why. It shouldn't have. So okay, if you're curious to see how that ceiling looks, Um, Let me see. I'm going to go to deck 4. I'm going to take a quick look. Deck 4 assembly top hole. Well, let's take a look at this real fast. Okay, so here, this is how it looks with the joists. Okay, still loading up. So just this alone has 263 components. Basically, each component is basically a file. Rebuild. No, almost. Uh, well, okay. Don't know why I moved things around. Oh, it's upside down. How did that get upside down? A lot of things are. Huh. Okay. I'll just delete this. I'll delete this. I don't know what these other ones are for. Anyway, so let me just rotate it. Uh, uh-huh. Yeah. It's a free rotation, so it just depends where I grab it. That's good enough. The rest will be I could straighten things out through the mate feature. For example, I select this surface there, and I say, okay, I want to mate. Oh, come on. So let's say right about here. Okay. Now I'm going to. Oh, I kind of lost the view. Okay. Okay, better. All I want to do here is just make this parallel. So this parallel to, let's say, right about here. Okay. And top view. So this is just a quick little layout test. Nothing final. Okay, so this piece here, all this is a wall. So it's a vertical wall, and it's pretty strong. So the idea, I'm going to have this joisting structure resting on that wall. And so I'm just going to approximate how far. So something like this. Of course, it's not quite centered or anything, but it gives an idea. So on this structure here, there's going to be, as you know, the ceiling is going to be on this. It's going to extend all the way to the engine room area. It's going to have another joisting structure over here as well. On the upper hull is going to be reinforced, and I'll have the flight deck over on this half on top of the upper hull. And let's see, so I need to put some more pieces in between, some more beams, joisting in between. But this should work, this should be, so these parts here, like the corners, for example, some other areas on this side, so forth, there should be some bulkheads, and the bulkheads should lock into these bottom structures here. And so the idea is all this joisting is going to be resting on top of a bulkhead. So the bulkhead is going to take the role of a pillar and support the ceiling. So I'm hoping like this, it should be easy for me to remove the ceiling and access the interior. And plus, I should be able to hang things from the ceiling, such as lights, other structures, other items. And of course, I have other ideas what I'm going to do for on top of the ceiling. I'm going to try to match the engine room with the outside, having some joisting as well. So with this, I'm going to go ahead and save the work here. Let me change the view. Okay. Save this. Rebuild and save the document. Yes. Okay. Sometimes it takes a while to save. It just depends. I could try to cut down on some of these files from getting too long by removing the inside things like the watertight doors, things like that. They're not being used right now. They're just to show how things would look. But anyway, I'm closing this file. So one of the, let's see, one of the prints have just finished. Let me change the item here and start another print. Come on. Wow, this one's really stuck. Wow. This piece is proving to be difficult to take out. I don't know why. It shouldn't be. Wow, what's going on with this one? Huh, wow. Okay, going to start this print again. One more. Up. I have to move this out the way. Some chairs. And another print just finished. Okay. One more item and I'll be able to complete someone's order. And I need to start another. Let me turn this one on. Computer, turn on Mini Select 6.
Okay.
All right. Print. Now, let me increase the speed on this one just a little bit. And let's see. So, what I'm going to do next is do a spool holder thing for this. So I guess I'm going to take measurements inside there. So let's say about 190 millimeters long. So this is how we start a brand new project. Choose the top plane. Go to sketch. Choose 190. Okay. Grab it in the middle. And I'm going to move it to the center of the screen. Okay, right there. That's called the origin. What's the... here it is. What's the approximate width? About 75. It kind of bulges in the middle to about 80. So 75 and 80. let's just say 80. And at the smallest, it's about 50. So let's say, how am I going to do this? Let's do one side. This is all approximation right now. Let's do make half of this, half of 50, and half of 80. And let's see how far before it starts to turn. So I'm just guessing right now. It's just all approximation. So let's say 20 millimeters in, it starts to, let's say 20. So let's see. Sorry, wrong thing. So let's make this one. $37.5. And I'm expecting a phone call. So let's see if anyone calls. So let's see how this is going to look. Doesn't quite look the way I was hoping it would look. Let's just do this. This is a fun little experiment. Let's see. Okay. I just want to make this rounded a little bit. Close enough, I think. Let me just, okay, let me accept it. Accept it. I don't want to get rid of it. I just want to kind of, nah, not quite what I'm thinking. But let's do this. Let's take this and mirror all of this about here. Then let's take this right there. Something like that. And then let's mirror the entire thing. Something like this. And the wood itself is about 3 millimeters thick. So just 3. And you know, maybe I should just have made it square and not worry about rounding things off. Because the way I'm thinking is, well, what's the thickest I got spools here. What's the widest? This one is about 50 millimeters, half of a figure. It's a little bit thicker. So I should not make it any smaller than 70 millimeters. So what I'll do is so let's go 35, half. And let's do center line. Let's say okay. So this is about 200 millimeters long. So if I could keep the middle about 100. So so the middle here, from here to here, is about 100 millimeters long. Yeah. So it's about 200 millimeters diameter, about 100 millimeters radius. So let's say this one is 50. And let's make an offset of 3. Center line. Basically, I'm making a port. I'm making an area where I can plug in a piece. I want the center line here. Why? Because I like to do things with offset, the offset command. So I'm going to say 10. Offset 10 in one direction, 10 in the other direction. Yeah. Something like this. So trim. Okay, what I'm going to do is mirror this. And I'm going to mirror this again. Let's see. Mirror. Okay. I'm going to cut this. Extrude a cut. Cut it to this side here. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and save this file, save as. Let me current. I think I have it under, what is it, miscellaneous? Maybe under, no. Maybe look to see where I have. Let me see. It's not one to one. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it is under one to one directory. So, oh, file, save as. Right. One to one. Tools. Okay. Several tools. Things for printers. Tube holder. Oh, that tube holder. Sorry. I don't know. I'm just gonna make another one. Filament. Spool box. This is going to be version 1. Oh, yeah. And this is going to be the base. 1-1. Now I'm going to make another part here. Sketch. Let's say line. I'm going to go here to here. Okay, I'm going to go to front view. I'm going to go. I want to be able to see what I'm doing. Right there. Okay, so let's see. Basically, I'm making a tab. I don't need this piece. Don't need that. Center line. How tall do I need to make this? The spool itself is 200 millimeters wide. So if you make this one, not wide, sorry, long. So it's a diameter of 200. So let's just make this one 210. So there's a little bit. See, what I'm concerned is, see, I don't want to have too much on the top. So anyway, let's see. So that thing, actually, I should probably use like. Okay, let's do this. Let's make this one a space of 5 millimeters at the bottom clearance. Um, then about 100 would be the center. So if I go up 100 from here, Oh, that's the center of where the spool should be. Yep. It was almost 30 millimeters. Let's see. So if I do like another 30, so I guess that, well, let's see. Yeah, it's about 30 in the center. It almost doesn't look right. So let's see. If this is about a 200 millimeter piece, so let's say 100 millimeter diameter, and the center part was, it had a radius of 50, so that's 100. So this is a diameter, of 50 right here, radius. Let me see. So this one is about 50, 50, yeah, 55, 55 millimeters. So the next one would be, so that'll be 55, but I'll just do it like that right now. I'm just thinking. So let's see. Let's see. I'm going to have an axle. So if I make an axle, there's 20 millimeters. It's a radius. So yeah, 20. Yeah, 20 millimeters diameter. Let me do this. Center line. I'm going to connect it right here. Take this, grab it to there. So what I'm thinking of doing is, actually, I could do this. Watch, watch, watch. No, this is fine. Okay. So what I'm thinking of doing right here is, I could do an offset. Make a little bit more. Let's say uh, 10.5. Yeah. I'm just thinking, how well does 3D printed plastic and plastic rub against wood? Is there I don't have any wood here. I don't have that kind of wood. Yeah. So pieces of plastic. It should be okay. So let's say I do right here. So basically, I'm thinking of let's see. Let's do it right like that. I'm going to cut the length. So basically, what I'm thinking of doing is have like a wall where let me do this real fast. A wall, basically. So I'm thinking like this. Like, so I have like a wall, and I put the axle in between, and so that way I could, when I need to remove the spool from the box, I just pull up the whole thing, spool the axle and everything, leaving this frame thing inside. Uh, am I making sense? I'm sorry, I have a whole bunch of thoughts in my mind right now, and I'm waiting for a phone call, waiting for a repair guy for the AC to give me a call back. If not, I'll just have to call tomorrow. Mm, so, anyways, so let me do an offset. Yeah, something like that. This, I'm gonna trim this up, trim this around. What's going on? I don't need that. So this is what I was working with. Construction line. Okay, I'm gonna trim this. And trim this down here. Do another offset right here. If I make this one 100, that's not quite what I want. Let's just do it right here from the tab. Okay. Um, this. Okay. Trim this. Oh, sorry, I messed up right here. And up here. Sometimes when I do these videos, I don't know what I'm doing, like planning to do. I just going to try something and I start doing something. Sometimes I don't have like a set plan. This should be good enough for now. If I need to improve the design later, I'll come back to it. So let me go ahead and copy this, copy the whole thing. Copy. And go ahead and save that. File, new, part. Put name. Sketch, paste. And make this 3mm because this is going to be wood. 3mm. Say, let it go in that direction. File, save, save as. What do I call this? Wall, maybe? Base, wall, or just call it side. Just side. And so this is the idea. Although I'm seeing some potential of something else, but so I go new, assembly, base. Okay, just stick that there. Let's go to view, hide, show, and just go hide the sketch lines. And then let's go back to insert components, side here. Also go back to insert components, put the side again on the other side. So then let's go to mate. We're gonna make this to here. This here. This side to this inside. Same thing with this one. Here. Then make this here. Like that. Here. Okay, so a very simple stand. Then next would be to make the axle part. How am I going to do this? Let's see. So let me save this. Save. Assembly. Screw holder. Frame. Let's say version 1 kind of thing. So that. So we said this was the axle was going to be a diameter of 20. So SolidWorks likes to show the radius, so we're going to make the radius 10. So select front view, sketch, circle, 10. I'm going to do an offset because I don't want the thing to be solid, so I'm going to make it just 1.5 millimeters thick. I want bidirectional, reverse. Yeah. How long do we want this thing to be? It was 80 from point to point. Let's go back to this. One easy way is to, let's go to tools, evaluate, measure, and So 70, 70 millimeters. Okay, be right back for a moment. Let's see. Okay, so let's say I think that's going to be 70 millimeters. So okay, just remember that. Let me switch here. Oh, I see people running downstairs. So it looks like I have to hurry up. I gotta run downstairs. Less than 20 minutes, less than 25 minutes. So, okay. So that was what, 78. So let's say, so what's a good number to do? Let's make it 75. 75. Why? Because I think I want to do this. Watch. So let's get the inside diameter here. Sketch. Come on, circle. Okay, I'm going to make another part. This is basically I'm making a, I don't know what you call it, end caps maybe, a cap for this. Okay, so I'm going to save this. I'm just going to call it bar rather than axle. I got a reason why. Uh, bar one, huh? Reminds me of that chocolate bar, bar none. File new. Sketch. Oh, sorry. I gotta select where. Okay. Sketch. So paste. Offset of 0.125. Reverse. Paste this. Okay. Make an offset of 1.5. Reverse. Okay. Features. Extrude boss. So let's make this one. Okay, good. 10. Let's go 10. I'm moving kind of quick now. Sketch. I'll grab it. Yeah. Let's take the offset of this piece. Oh, come on, give me the offset. Yeah. Just thinking. Okay. Features. let's say 1 millimeter, something like that. And let's make this, let's do that again. Sketch, sketch, one circle. Okay, let's do offset. No, not there. Let's say 2 millimeters. I think maybe 3 millimeters would be better, be wiser. Okay. And features. How thick do we want this? Let's make this 1.5. Now, why do all of this? Well, let me do this real fast. Let me go. No, 0.5. And so that's good there. Let's also make this there. Mostly I want this thing to roll and glide easily. So I'm hoping a lot of rounded corners will help it. Okay, let's see. File, save as. I just called it cap one. Let's take this to the assembly. So if I go, yeah, I wanted to do a laser cut, but I have to cut this short. So um, insert components. Oh, come on, insert components. R. Let me do something real fast, make it easier to look. Side material. I don't like the color of wood on this thing, so I like to go plain carbon steel for this kind of a brownish look to it. Uh, so save this. Base material also plain carbon steel. Save. So this is in gray, so we take insert components, cap, insert components, cap. Let's go rotate this. I'm gonna make this here, 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 here. Okay, and let's see how far can we make this thing go. Well, maybe that's what I wanted to do. So I should make this one to like 3.5. So make this to here. Okay, there's a little space. Actually, maybe I don't have to do anything. Maybe this is enough. Yeah. So we take this. Right there. And say this to this side. Yeah, so let's say this has a little spacing of what, 0.5 inch? I mean, millimeter, like that. So it should be kind of tight. This doesn't have to turn, doesn't have to rotate, it just has to be in position. So the spool could be put there. Um, can make a very quick spool just to kind of illustrate. Save, or save the whole thing here. So if I go new parts. So do you remember those dimensions? I think the inner circle was 30. So select this, sketch, sketch. I want to sketch. So I'm trying to hurry up right now. So what? Diameter of 30, I think it was. No, it was 27.5. And it was a radius, 27.5, I think. Gotta do it again. Yeah, about. So about 27.5, the radius. Um, then it was about 100, so that this would have to be, well, actually, that's just the inside part. So I can actually make this any. So let's just, if I look at this, it's about 4 millimeters thick. So an offset of 4. Features, extrude, mid plane. This one's about, let me quickly bring up a calculator. So I'm not thinking too well right now. 22.5. So 22.5, boom. Okay. So then right here, let's go to there. Sketch, sketch. So I can start this one right there. Make this one 100, so it's 200. Maybe 50, I don't want 50. 100. Okay. Features, again, 4 millimeters. Go this direction. No, actually, it should be this direction. But, yeah, I see a little problem. Delete that. Good. So let's go to here, go to this side, there, let's go sketch, sketch, circle, inside, and there. Features, and make it 4 millimeters. Okay. Doesn't quite look Oh, you know what? I wasn't thinking. So that's good, but let's make this. Yeah, I wasn't thinking. This should be 45. Okay, so this is going to be spool. Files, save as. I'm going to say, make this um, acrylic. Okay, save. So I go to assembly, insert components, spool. So actually, how should I do this? Just going to make it right in the middle. I want this here to be about here. Let's put some distance of, let's just say 10. That's good enough. And then let's change the view, change the view. So let's drag this one. So it should be, something like this. You know, so it should be something like this. And so later on, I wanted to do it now, but I'm going to have to change my plans and do this later. But I was going to go ahead and 3D print this piece and laser cut this, and I was going to show the software. But that could be later. Let's see. Okay. Anyways, I am going to go ahead and save this. Save. Yes, rebuild and save. And I'm going to call it for now. Maybe I'll do another video when I get back in, or maybe later tonight or something like that. So I'm kind of in the mood to talk and uh, talk about talk about everything. So I'm just in the mood to talk, I guess. So computer, turn on Joe Room light. So so I just to recap, I just did some stuff in SolidWorks for the VSS, and then making a spool holder for the inside of one of these Rubbermaid boxes. That way, I can keep some of the special filaments that I use, and I can keep moisture and stuff out. Um, it's a good starting point for making that little stand. It's just a good starting point for that box. But to do it right, I need to put like a little chamber or something to keep uh, silica gel separated so it doesn't get come in contact with the spool and anything like that. Um, so other projects is to would be to get one of those ball bearing type spinning disc kind of thing and kind of help the filament to glide as it rotates. But I did other tests before where the plastic of the spool doesn't really have much friction with a 3D printed plastic. So I'm not too worried about friction holding things back. So with that said, thank you for watching. I need to run real fast, and I may do another video tonight. Don't forget, tomorrow is going to be another video live stream. I don't know if anyone's going to show up. It just might be me. So I don't know what I'm going to talk about. So I might just do some more of this. So all right, thank you everyone for showing up. See you next time. Bye.